How's it going, guys? Chris Hart here, SoldOutServant, and today we'll be discussing the timeline of the war in Afghanistan. And before I get started, guys, let me tell you this here. This war has been going on for decades. I'm not going to cover the entire war in its entirety, but I'm going to cover from the dates of 9/11/2001 to what's happening today in Afghanistan.
Sold out servants, and you know we've been working. We serving, we earning. The watches is hurting. Serve to earn, baby. What you know about leadership? Start small, build up. Takes a team to win a championship. Big heart, but it started with Chris. Seen a lot when it comes to this biz. Don't serve, don't earn. They gotta shift keys to be a capitalist. Sold out servants.
You all remember where you were. I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school. It was 6 a.m. 6 in the morning. I'm ironing my clothes to go to school. I'm watching the news. I see a plane go into one of the North Towers. I say, what's going on here? Is that a plane? Is this went into a tower? I couldn't believe what was happening in my eye. You knew where you were, right? From that day on, we knew we were going to war. And so taking this timeline, guys, to figure out how did we get to where we are today, to a point to where we've got billions and billions of dollars of equipment being left behind in foreign soil, being used by terrorists as we speak today. How do you get to a point where we have American civilians who are left behind enemy lines? How did that take place, guys? It goes back to 9/11. So 2001, 9/11, hijackers commandeer four commercial airplanes, two going into the World Trade Centers, the Pentagon in DC, and a Pennsylvania field, killing thousands of Americans. We knew at that point, okay, cool, this is war. What takes place next, guys? October 7, 2001, following unanswered demands that the Taliban turn over by Bin Laden, U.S. and British forces launched airstrikes against targets in Afghanistan. So Osama Bin Laden, leader of the Al-Qaeda network, says that he's the leader responsible for the terrorist attacks in 9/11. This is all war. We have to find him. 12/7, 2001, Taliban fighters abandon their final stronghold in Kandahar as militia groups hold on to Afghanistan and continue to disintegrate. 2 days later, Taliban leaders surrender the group's final Afghan territory, Zabul. The rule of the Taliban comes to an end. Guys, this is 2001. The rule of the Taliban comes to an end. That's almost 20 years ago. How is that even a factual statement? The rule of the Taliban, because terrorists don't need a sovereign nation to be ahead of to cause terror. So you keep going here. June 2002, a Grand Council elects U.S.-backed Hamid Karzai as interim leader of Afghanistan. Karzai chooses members of government who will serve until 2004. So at this point now, we've been there for 3 years. We're establishing a council, a government there that can lead on its own. So we have a U.S.-backed leader there in 2002. Things look good. It's been 1 year we've been there, actually. Things are looking good, right? So let's see what happens next. 2003. Amid increased violence, NATO takes over security in Kabul in August. So wait, here we are. A year after we have Hamid take over, we're getting troops are coming back into Afghanistan because things are happening. Terrorist attacks are increasing. There's instability in that nation. What happens next? 2006, Taliban fighters launch a bloody wave of suicide attacks and raids against the international troops. Suicide attacks are happening here. War is taking place in Afghanistan. We're trying to get things under control. It's 2006. We've been there since 2005. It's 2001. It's been there for 5 years now. And things are still taking place. Next, what happens? 2007, Taliban commander Mullah Dalua was killed during a U.S.-led operation in southern Afghanistan. He's a head leader of the Taliban. One of the head leaders of the Taliban is taken out now. So we're seeing some progress here, guys. It's 2007. Where were you in 2007? What were you doing? So you're seeing the wars being fought and raged in foreign soil. Our sons, our daughters, brothers, sisters are at a war in a different nation fighting for freedom in a different nation. That's a different topic. We're fighting for freedom here in a country 3,000 miles away from us. Next, 2001. We're fast forward now. Here's 4 years now. 4 years later, U.S. forces overtake a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, and they kill Al-Qaeda leader Osama Bin Laden on May 2nd. Most Americans know exactly where they were when that took place, right? It's 2011. We finally get the leader who was responsible for the innocent lives taken on U.S. soil in 2001. This is 10 years later from when it took place. He's not captured, he's killed. Well, 2 years later, are we still in Afghanistan? Like, the war's over, right? We've killed Osama Bin Laden. That's just one terrorist. You chop one head off, another one comes up. 2013, the Afghan Army takes over all military and security operations and from NATO forces. So the Afghan Army is taking back over what's happening in Afghanistan. Okay, cool. There's signs of us getting out of that war. It's 2013. May 2014, Obama announces timetable for significantly reducing U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Okay, it's looking good, right? We're finally putting things in place where we're going to get out of this land here because we've been here for almost, well, at that point in time, now over 13 years. It's been a 13-year war since 9/11 that we've been in there. We are finally getting out. Well, October 2015, Obama cancels plans to remove all troops by end of his presidency. He's saying, hey, it's not going to take place. We want to be out here by 2016. It's not happening here. We got to stay a little longer. 2017, 2 years later, President Trump is in office now. Trump commits to continued military involvement to prevent emergence of a vacuum for terrorists. He's saying, man, it's 2017. We can't just leave. We get out of there. There's a vacuum for terrorists. Now, it's 2017. At this point, we've been in for almost 16 years. How are we getting out of this mess? Like, what do you do? How do you leave this country? You've been trying for 16 years. How do we leave? Trump says we got to stay a little longer. And then comes February 2019. U.S. and Taliban sign a peace agreement with terms of the U.S. exit by May 2021. So we sign a peace agreement with terrorists to be out by a certain time. How does it sound so far? Does it sound kind of weird? Peace agreement with terrorists? I don't know. All right, we'll see. Forward to April 2021. Biden announces U.S. withdrawal by 9/11/2021. At this point, a series of events have taken place since 9/11, right? We're coming right down to the point where we are in present today. So July 5th, 2021, right? The U.S. leaves Bagram Airfield without telling the base's new Afghan commander. So we leave the airfield July 5th without telling the Afghan commander who's overseeing it. Seems like a disconnect of communication taking place there. August 10th, the White House says Taliban takeover is not inevitable, following the U.S. speedy withdrawal from the country. So the White House is saying, hey, it's not a guarantee that the Taliban will take over. Okay, cool. August 5th, the Afghanistan government collapsed as the Taliban takes over Kabul, the capital. So you're looking at 5 days from that White House statement, the Taliban have swooped in and taken over the country. Same country we fought for years to withhold government, to government dollars spent, tax dollars spent to make things happen there. Let's see what happens next. August 26th, two suicide bombings occur outside Kabul airports as thousands of Afghans tried to flee the country following the Taliban's takeover. The bombings killed at least 169 Afghans and 13 U.S. troops. 13 U.S. Marines were killed in that incident. August 26th, guys. In a speech in the White House, President Joe Biden does not reverse the course of August 31st withdrawal date. In a speech, he vows to retaliate against the perpetrators of that attack. We will not forgive, he says, in quote, we will not forgive, we will not forget, we will hunt you down and make you pay. August 30th, the U.S. transports a final contingent of troops from Kabul airport, officially ending America's longest war. The Pentagon says some Americans were unable to leave and will have to rely on diplomatic channels to exit the country. So guys, we all have our opinions, right? This is not your typical Southern video, right? It's a little different. And here's what I'm gonna state my opinion, guys. Like the exit of Afghanistan was just fumbled, man, as a country, man. The communication taking place there. I didn't mention the billions and billions of dollars of U.S. equipment left in Afghanistan. I'm talking like Apache helicopters, guys, AR-15, M16 guns, weapons, all left for the Taliban to take. If you Google, go to YouTube, go to Instagram and just Google Taliban Afghanistan, there's pictures of them on U.S. tanks taking our equipment, taxpayers' dollars, now being used for the terrorists. Now, you can say, well, Chris, what would you have done? I mean, we've been there for almost 20 years. We have to leave at some point in time. I understand completely that. But guys, tell me this if this makes sense. We've got troops in Afghanistan, American civilians, and we have allies, we have equipment. Which should leave first? The troops? Should they leave first? Should the allies leave first? Civilians? Or the billions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars spent on equipment, U.S. grade equipment? Here's where we messed up at. Guess who left first? The troops. We left civilians there, left American civilians there, we left our allies there, our Afghan interpreters there, and we left U.S. equipment there that we spent money on. So guys, you have your opinion on what's taking place here. My purpose of this video, guys, is to encourage you to study a bit what's happening in our country. Stay up to date on current events, guys. With that being said, I'm your boy Chris Hart. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this content. Thanks.